Matthew Lucas said, my bad Sox mood just makes it seem hollow, but what do you have to do? 35th and Shields. Just hope I live long enough to be proud of the team eventually. And I 100% agree. The situation's very weird.
I think Fandom is at not an all-time low. It's just at a low right now where people are just wanting something. In baseball games and the actual team winning baseball games, somebody said it cures all. I don't know if it cures all, but it makes people put their bad things in the back of their head. Keep it there because they know this team has a history of, not making their fans very happy. But all is needed is a good baseball, a good game. They see the team progressing, and that's going to be until April. You got to wait until March. The first game, I think, versus José Abreu and the Astros are at the end of March. But we're right there, guys. So I feel the same way as you. Like, I am at a low point for my White Sox fandom, but some of the things can be cured by actual good baseball in 2023. And I think we might be there.
They were in the playoffs. They were in the playoffs just the year before last.
Yeah. Right.
Well, all-time low?
No, I'm not an all-time. I'm at a very low point in my White Sox fandom. But other times before that, it was like they're just in second place. They were competing, and it felt good that they were battling versus the Cleveland Indians at the time in the 90s. And then when they won the World Series, I was like, man, that taste. I can't get that taste out of my mouth. I need that again. So that's what I've been on ever since then. So, yeah, this is a time where I'm like, they finished in 81 and 81 in a year they're supposed to compete. And so, yeah, I'm kind of sad. Sox Fest was canceled. All these things that were happening with the White Sox. It's not a good time to be a White Sox fan, but we can have a good season and things can be like, okay, we're back to normal. We're back to 2021. We're feeling great about ourselves.
I'm just saying, listen, do whatever you want. I'm just saying, it's not a good time to be a White Sox fan when they won the division the year before last?
No.
It's not a good time to be a White Sox fan.
I just think that especially when
you're... some high standards. Some really high standards.
Again, it's what they've expected and they set for themselves. And that's why when we've been talking about the upgrades the Sox need to make and, raising the bar or keeping the bar where it is, it's like it's not beating the Cleveland Guardians and it's not beating the Minnesota Twins. It's beating the Astros. It's beating the Yankees. And it's because when they signed Grandal, they said that window was a 5-year or whatever year contention. That's what Kenny Williams said.
That's true when it comes to them meeting their goals that they've set for themselves. Can you not have fun if they don't win the World Series?
Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah. I had fun in 2021. I didn't think the season was a disappointment in 2021. I actually thought it was a great season. The 2022, of course, disappointment. If the White Sox this year go out and win the AL Central and get defeated in the first round, I'm going to be upset. Because, as Sean said, as Rick said, we're going to be competing for multiple championships, and you can't compete for multiple championships if you're not in the championship.
But
not even the AL championship or in the World Series.
But upset in terms of, oh, man, I'm upset that my favorite team lost their playoff series, or I'm upset this season was a total waste and I hated it.
Well, no, I think...
Because last year, listen, guys, I'm on board. Last year, they gave you a lot of reasons to be pulling your hair out every night. I understand. But, just in general, they're fine. They're not a bad team.
No,
right?
but so I think Greg sums it up well. You lost your leader in José Abreu, no Sox Fest, Liam's health news, which is a horrible update, and then you have the Clevinger news, and now you look at this team, and before the Clevinger news was released, it seemed like they really had a team set. And honestly, before the Liam news, like you had your closer, you had your left fielder, you had 5 pitchers. Now you've lost your closer, and we don't have a timeline for Liam. We don't know if he'll return in 2023. So that very important part of your team, you didn't even trade him. Like we were talking about trading Liam Hendriks before the news of his cancer diagnosis, or I forget the
diagnosis works.
Diagnosis. We were talking about, like, you're a division contender. Like, you can't trade away Liam Hendriks. Well, now you lost him to unfortunate reasons, and then the rotation goes from 4 guys to 5 guys. And, like, this rotation that was very iffy, that even Clevinger didn't solidify it, like, now he's possibly and likely gone. So it's just tough to now be like, this team is going to be contending in 2023 just because they've lost those 2 pieces.
We'll see. We'll see how it plays.
And then you have to deal with all the health issues that they've been dealing with in 2021 and 2022.
As I've mentioned many times, I just find the fan psychology aspect of some of this very interesting, and I'm always curious to learn more about it. That's all. I was just on our CHGO Sports podcast, and our subject today was curses, new curses that might be afflicting Chicago teams, and Luke and Kevin start out talking about, well, the Bears have been cursed since they won the Super Bowl in the mid-1980s. And I'm like, well, but they were in the Super Bowl one year. That's pretty good. That's not cursed. I remember that season. I had a blast watching that season. Like, this whole championship or it sucks thing to me is very not the way it's not the way I used to watch sports, and I'm very curious why so many people look at it that way.
I think right now it's less championship than or championship than
it sucks
or sucks. I think it's just the fact that, you know, all of the unfortunate stuff that has happened and the way that they've tried to get to that championship. Connor says perspective, the team is probably favored to win the division in 2023.
Nope.
Guardians are. That's not an all-time low.
What would you say?
Guardians.
You'd pick the Guardians
just by odds, our sponsor DraftKings.
I'm just saying, who would you predict today to win the AL Central?
The Guardians. They got better. The White Sox got worse. The Twins got better.
I think the White Sox on paper have the best roster of those three.
They have the best roster, but I think...
And trust me, we'll talk about all the ifs every day from now until probably after the season starts.
But the Guardians didn't lose anybody for the most part and added a good bat.
Sure.
The Twins added a premium... Well, it didn't add. They just
They brought back the same guy and then traded their best hitter.
And got a pitcher. And I think those two teams got better while the White Sox got worse because I'm still in the José Abreu thing. I think the man's going to have a quality year down there in Houston that he could have had up here. And we could have had all three of the guys that we kept on talking about with him, Vaughn, and Eloy Jimenez. So, yes, I think the White Sox, I am pessimistic right now. I am waiting for good baseball. I would love to be proven wrong. But right now I'm thinking the White Sox are a second or third place team as we currently speak on January 26th.